Page 1. In the bustling city of New Haven, a young gun enthusiast named Adrian lived in a small apartment filled with guns of all shapes and sizes. He was a collector, a hobbyist, and a lover of firearms. His life revolved around them, and he took great pride in cleaning, maintaining, and even customizing his collection. It was a normal evening, with Adrian meticulously polishing his prized possession, the Devil Dog, a powerful handgun with a skeleton grip and a glinting muzzle. This weapon was more than just any ordinary firearm. It was a family heirloom passed down through generations. The Devil Dog was rumored to possess supernatural powers, a legacy that Adrian took seriously, even if he couldn't quite believe the stories himself. As the sun dipped below the horizon, Adrian sat in the dimming light of his apartment, the only sound the soft hum of his polishing cloth. He had spent hours with the Devil Dog when suddenly a sharp pain shot through his chest. It was as if the gun itself had reached out and pulled him into its world. In the next moment, Adrian collapsed, his life bleeding out onto the cold wooden floor. As the world grew dim, his last thought was of his beloved Devil Dog, wondering if the stories were true after all. 2. Meanwhile, in the ethereal realm where the living and the dead intersected, a spectral figure emerged from the shadows. It was Adrian's spirit, drawn inexplicably towards the Devil Dog, now eerily silent. The figure felt an intense pull, as if the gun was beckoning it forward. As Adrian's spirit floated towards the Devil Dog, the gun pulsed with a faint, eerie light, and the shadowy figure felt the gun's power coursing through it. In that moment, Adrian realized that the stories were true. The Devil Dog was not just a weapon, it was a vessel for something far greater, something he was now destined to become. With a burst of energy that could have been mistaken for a thunderclap, the spirit of Adrian merged with the Devil Dog, transforming it from a mere gun into a living creature. It was now a gun devil, a hybrid of flesh and steel, with the skeletal grip becoming animated and the barrel pulsating with a faint, otherworldly glow. This new form of Adrian, now a gun devil, was imbued with the powers of the Devil Dog, granting him abilities beyond the scope of what mortals could comprehend. His senses were heightened, and he was now able to manipulate the energy of gunfire, bending bullets to his will, creating barriers of lead, and summoning firearms from the very air. Page 3. As the gun devil, Adrian opened his eyes, staring at the gun that had once been his life's passion. It was now a part of him, and he could feel the pulse of its energy thrumming through his veins. He tested his newfound abilities, firing a stream of bullets that spiraled into a vortex at his command. The sensation was exhilarating, a rush of power that Adrian had never known. It was as if the Devil Dog had unlocked a part of him he never knew existed. He knew that his time as a mere mortal was over, and he was now a weapon of legend, destined to wield the power of the Devil Dog for the greater good or the darkest of purposes. With newfound purpose, the gun devil left his apartment, stepping out into the night. The city of New Haven was a neon-lit playground of opportunity, and the gun devil knew that he had a role to play in the world. He could sense the energies of other supernatural beings, and he felt a kinship with these creatures of the night. It was time to explore his new abilities and see what destiny had in store for him. As he traversed the streets, his mind raced with possibilities, and he could feel the excitement of the unknown coursing through his being. Page 4. The gun devil's first encounter was with a street gang, their eyes widening as the creature of legend appeared before them. "Who's this?" one gang member asked, his voice a mix of fear and awe. The gun devil didn't speak. Instead, he motioned for them to step back. With a flick of his wrist, he summoned a barrage of bullets that danced in the air, creating a protective barrier between himself and the gang. They were frozen in place, unable to comprehend what they were witnessing. The gun devil moved through the streets, his presence felt but not seen by most. He was a guardian, a watcher, a being of legend come to life. As the night wore on, the gun devil encountered a burglar attempting to steal from a small convenience store. With a flick of his fingers, he summoned a firearm from the air and aimed it at the thief, who dropped to his knees, his hands up in surrender. "You're not human. the thief stammered, his voice trembling. The gun devil simply nodded, a smile playing at the corner of his lips. He had no need to speak. His actions spoke louder than any words could. The gun devil had already saved this city once, and he felt an inexplicable responsibility to keep it safe. Page 5. The gun devil continued to patrol, observing the city, watching over the people who lived in New Haven. He noticed the petty crimes and the larger threats that lurked in the shadows. With a thought, he could summon a firearm or create a bullet that could shatter through concrete. His powers were endless, and he grew more adept at using them as time went on. He became a vigilante of sorts, an embodiment of justice and vengeance wrapped in the form of a legend. One evening, as the gun devil watched over the city, he detected a surge of dark energy. It was unlike anything he had ever felt before, a malevolent force that threatened to consume everything in its path. As he drew closer, he saw a figure cloaked in darkness, surrounded by a swirling mist. It was a demon, a being of pure evil, preying on the fear of the citizens. The gun devil's eyes flared with determination, and he knew he had to stop this force before it could wreak havoc on the innocent. Page 6. With a growl that resonated in the air, the gun devil charged towards the demon, the power of the devil dog coursing through him. A battle ensued, bullets and dark energy clashing in a symphony of violence and light. The gun devil was relentless, his every move calculated to protect the city and its people. The demon fought back, its attacks growing more powerful and dangerous with each passing moment. The streetlights flickered, and the people on the fringes of the conflict could feel the tremors of their struggle. The battle intensified, and the gun devil knew that he had to end this threat before the demon could unleash its full power. He summoned the devil dog, the gun that started it all, and with a single shot he pierced the heart of the demon, sending it spiraling back into the shadows from which it came. The city breathed a collective sigh of relief as the gun devil stood victorious, his form glowing with the radiance of the devil dog's power. He had saved New Haven once more, and the people knew that they were protected by a legend that had stepped out of the realm of myth and into reality. Page 7. The gun devil's presence had become a fixture in New Haven. People whispered of him in hushed tones, telling stories of the mysterious figure who seemed to appear when danger was near. Business owners left their doors open, inviting the gun devil to watch over their shops. Parents would tell their children that if they were ever in trouble, the gun devil would come to their aid. The city's crime rate dropped, and the citizens felt safer than they had in years. Adrian's spirit, now one with the devil dog, reveled in the knowledge that his life, his passion, had become a symbol of hope and safety for those who lived in the shadows of New Haven. As the years passed, the gun devil continued to watch over the city. His legend grew with each victory, and soon he became more than a guardian. He was a symbol of justice and a beacon of hope for those who felt lost in the darkness of the world. The gun devil's abilities grew with him, his skills becoming sharper, his understanding of the devil dog's power deeper. He could now create powerful barriers, manipulate the energy of bullets into powerful bursts of light, and even summon the weapons of those who had died in the line of duty. Page 8. But with every victory there were whispers of unrest. Some began to question the gun devil's motives, wondering if he had become too powerful, too unpredictable. There were those who believed that the gun devil's legend had become a crutch for the city, allowing its denizens to ignore the root causes of their problems. They argued that while the gun devil was a symbol of safety, he was also a symbol of dependence, of the city's unwillingness to confront the deeper issues that plagued its streets. These whispers reached the ears of a mysterious figure known only as the Arbiter. This individual, whose existence was known to only a select few, was a being of ancient origins, tasked with the maintenance of balance between the worlds of the living and the dead. The Arbiter saw the gun devil as a wild card, a variable that could tip the scales in either direction. The Arbiter decided to observe the gun devil's actions, to see if the balance was truly at risk. Page 9. The Arbiter watched from the shadows, noting the gun devil's every move, every action, every thought. It was clear that the gun devil was not a creature of malice, but his abilities were immense. The Arbiter contemplated the Gun Devil's role in the world, weighing the potential consequences of his continued existence. The Gun Devil was unaware of the Arbiter's presence, but his instincts told him that something was amiss. He could sense the watchful eyes of an unseen force, and it unnerved him. Despite the unease that lingered, the Gun Devil continued his vigil over New Haven. He knew that his duty was to protect, and he would not falter in this role. But he also knew that he needed to be cautious, to be aware of the potential dangers that could arise from his immense power. He began to train harder, to hone his skills, to ensure that he was always prepared for whatever challenges might come his way. Page 10. As the Gun Devil's fame grew, so too did the number of those who sought his help. Victims of crime, citizens in distress, and even law enforcement officers would reach out to him, knowing that he would not turn a blind eye to their pleas for assistance. He had become a symbol of hope for many, a guardian against the darkness that threatened to consume the city. The Gun Devil felt a sense of duty, a calling that kept him grounded in his role as protector. However, the darker forces that lurked in the shadows did not ignore the Gun Devil's influence. They saw him as a threat, a potential disruption to their plans. A rival group of supernatural beings began to emerge, their intentions unknown, but their presence a clear challenge to the Gun Devil's dominance. The Arbiter watched from the sidelines, waiting for the moment when the balance would be truly at risk. The Gun Devil, meanwhile, was unaware of the brewing storm, focused only on the task at hand. Page 11. The conflict escalated, with the Gun Devil facing off against these malicious beings, each battle a test of his might and will. He could not afford to underestimate his adversaries, for they possessed powers that he had never encountered. Each time he fought, the Gun Devil learned, adapted, and grew stronger. Yet the cost of these battles was heavy, and the Gun Devil began to feel the strain of his immortal existence. The toll of countless wars against darkness took its toll on his spirit, and he felt a growing weariness that he could not ignore. As the Gun Devil rested in his apartment, the Arbiter finally revealed itself. It appeared as a figure of light and shadow, a being of ethereal beauty and terrible power. It spoke to the Gun Devil, its voice a chorus of winds and whispers. "You have played your role well," the Arbiter said, its voice a blend of admiration and warning. "But there comes a time when the scales must be balanced, and your power must be weighed against the greater good." The Gun Devil listened, his mind racing with the implications of these words. Page 12. The Arbiter explained that the Gun Devil's existence, while noble, had become a disruption to the balance between life and death. The Gun Devil's incredible abilities had the potential to tip the scales too far in either direction, and the fate of both worlds was at stake. The Arbiter offered the Gun Devil a choice: to continue his crusade, knowing the risks, or to step back, to relinquish his powers and return to the life that he once knew. The Gun Devil was torn, his heart heavy with the weight of his decision. In the quiet of his apartment, the Gun Devil wrestled with his choices, the memory of his life as Adrian intermingling with his current existence. He thought of the people he had helped, the lives he had saved, and the city he had protected. But he also thought of the price he had paid, the toll it had taken on his soul. He knew that he could no longer ignore the warning signs that the Arbiter had shown him. With a heavy heart, the Gun Devil made his choice, deciding to step back from his role as a guardian. Page 13. The Gun Devil's departure from the world of the living was a quiet one. He left his devil dog behind, knowing that it would be cared for by those who knew its true power. He returned to the realm of the dead, his spirit merging once again with the gun that had birthed him. The devil dog, now a sentient being, understood his master's decision and promised to watch over the city, to be the guardian that Adrian once was. In the ethereal realms, the Gun Devil's spirit found peace, his powers dormant but not gone. He began to contemplate his time on earth, the lessons he had learned, and the impact he had had on the world. As he rested in the embrace of the devil dog, he felt a sense of fulfillment, knowing that he had made a difference. But he also felt a longing for the life that he had left behind, the life that had been taken from him in the pursuit of justice. Page 14. The city of New Haven continued to flourish, the gun devil's spirit hovering over it like a guardian angel. The crime rate had dropped significantly, and the citizens felt a sense of security that they had never known before. The gun devil's legend lived on, a reminder of the power of one man's passion, of the legacy he had left behind. The stories of the gun devil would be told for generations, a testament to the power of one man's dedication to the greater good. But the world was not without its challenges, and the gun devil's absence did not mean that all was well. The supernatural beings and dark forces that had once challenged him continued to exist, lurking in the shadows, waiting for the opportune moment to strike. New heroes would arise, each with their own stories to tell, their own legends to forge. The gun devil, in his new form, watched over them all, his presence a silent promise that he would always be there, ready to guide and protect when needed. 15. And so, the life of Adrian the gun devil came to an end. His spirit merged once again with the devil dog, the weapon that had defined him. He had taken on a mantle greater than any man could bear, and he had carried it with honor. The gun devil's legacy was one of hope, of courage, and of the indomitable human spirit. His story would be told in the shadows of New Haven, in the whispers of the night, a reminder that even in the darkest of times, there is always a guardian watching over the city. The arbiter, satisfied with the outcome, watched over the gun devil and the devil dog, ensuring their watchful eyes were always on the world below. They would remain, guardians of balance, ready to step in when the scales tipped too far, their existence a testament to the complex tapestry of life and death that intertwines through the ages. The story of the gun devil would become a legend, a tale told by the stars themselves, a reminder that in the darkest nights there is always a light to guide those who walk the path of justice. Page 1.